Hello, I am Mariano Gutierrez Alarcón and welcome to the 12th Man Academy, the show that asks the questions we believe the fans want to know about football. Joining me for this series is well-known and passionate manager Gus Poyet and our voice of the fans, long-suffering supporter Stephen Brown. Together, we will get inside the pitch and hope to answer your doubts about managing at the top end of the game, while we get the inside track of being a top-level football manager. In each episode, we get a better understanding of the thoughts, the decision-making, and the philosophies of a top-level coach, from picking a club captain to tactics and team identity as we connect the fans to the manager. In this series, we reference to past events as we use examples that were happening in the football world at the time we recorded this podcast. In this episode, we discuss managers and the sack. Hello, Gus.
Hello, how are you?
Hello, Steven.
Hello, Mariano. How are you? Hello, Gus.
Hi.
Today, we're recording this special. In the news, we saw in the last week or so, 3 managers getting out of the club, like Conte was going out of Spurs, then Rodgers was sacked by Leicester, and minutes later was Potter being sacked by Chelsea. We know, and we talk a lot about Gus and Steven, that it's very common that the pressures of the job is getting even more and more into managers' shoulders. And any problem that is at the club, it goes always, the manager is guilty and is the first to get the sack. There is a lot of things. It's ownership of the clubs at stake. It's the fans' perception of what the manager has to do and what they expect to do. It's a lot of things about players getting so much money that they're investments for the clubs, and it's a lot easier to sack one manager than to sack 20, 30 players, which are very expensive, much more expensive than the manager. So where do we start? What?
I'd like to start by saying how different the three sackings have been and the reasons, and from a fan's point perspective, from an owner's perspective, and also, interestingly, some from pundits' perspective. So Conte, for me, decided to leave and found a way out as the manager's choice. I think there was something going on that we don't know about, but he instigated this by coming out and doing the rant. It was obvious he couldn't stay. He undermined the owners, everything. So he decided to get out. The fans didn't really want him out. It was getting a bit boring, the football, and I think that was a problem. But, he's a winner on paper, and that's what we wanted. Potter, ridiculously getting sacked after 7 months. It's sort of like, does it get any shorter? I mean, how long does a manager get to even implement, especially given that he has 15 teams to pick? And I think Brendan Rodgers has just been, Leicester fans have been wanting this now for a year. They've waited and waited. I think the Leicester owners have shown patience because he's won trophies. But then in the end, money comes in. They have to make sure they don't get relegated. They lost so much money under COVID. They are in debt and they can't afford to be out of the Premier League. It could go very badly wrong. So I think it's just the aspect of they're all sacked in different ways and different reasons.
Yes, Steven. Yeah, in general speaking, yes, I agree with you. I want to make it short, the Chelsea one. Abramovich, everybody knew what would happen if you don't win a trophy. The following season, you're under pressure. It happened to everyone, to Mourinho, to Ancelotti, to Conte, to everyone. So you win trophies, 1 year you don't, following year, under pressure. If you don't do well, you're out. So that was clear. With this new owner, we didn't know. So everybody was, what is going to happen? Now, I'm going to tell you a situation that happened at Chelsea. There is 3 things. One is the media, including the social media. When the media, newspaper, radios, plus the social media, there is a kind of campaign, against the manager, you got a problem. 2, when the fans, they start booing the team, you got a problem. And when these 2 together is coming slowly into the chairman, then you're definitely out. Because when it touches the owner, then the owner cannot take that as a responsibility. Not too many cases you can avoid the sacking when all these 3 things come at the same time. Now we know where Chelsea is going, and I think it's clear Chelsea cannot be 11th in the Premiership. I really like Graham Potter. I think he plays a fantastic football. I think he's a great coach. He looks like a great person as well. I don't know personally, and I don't like coaches losing their jobs. I think it was in very specific games. It was unlucky, but not unlucky the luck that we want to have. Unlucky is little things that they don't go for you that day. The game against Southampton, 30 plus shots, incredible saves, everything goes against you, you lose the game against the bottom of the table. Because you're doing well in the Champions League, you stay. But then you lose against Aston Villa, and then it becomes, bigger and bigger. The Brendan Rodgers, like you said, I think it was coming. I think Brendan does something fantastic at Leicester, winning the cup. But then, I don't know, it was like no regeneration of the club, no regeneration of the players, and they were standing still. And when you stand still, normally means that you get worse. So it was an issue, and too many losses in a row. I think it's 5 in the last 6, and in the bottom 3. If it happens to me in that situation, I will say, okay, it's normal. I was not even in the bottom 3 at Sunderland, and I got sacked. So it's depending on the feelings of the club. Sorry, Mariano. And the last one, the best one is Conte. The best one is Conte, and I want to really get into Conte over 3, the 3 of us, because I want to know your opinions as well. I understand what Steven said about he wanted out. Now, because we can discuss this in the different levels, and I would like to start from the beginning. Everybody knows Conte. There is only one Conte. If somebody was dreaming that Conte will come to Tottenham and change his personality, then he's out of this world, because you can't expect that. Everybody knew that if the team was not winning or close to win something, then it would be a problem. Sooner or later. And to be honest, it was quite late for me, because I was expecting this before. And as soon as he named the chairman in his press conference, I knew he was out, completely out.
I have a theory, and it's more about the structure of the club and what Levy set up to do with Paratici. Paratici became banned in Italy, and then they make it international. And the lack of activity in the last transfer window is a big tell about that they knew or suspect that they will have consequences, and he couldn't do the transfer as he wished. The previous transfer window, he more or less Tottenham would buy every single player around the world in the press. Every new player was scouted by Tottenham, and it was like 35 names in the press that Tottenham will do. And normally they say Paratici likes to work like that. The next transfer window is silence, dead silence, and one signing, and mostly the signings was about loans and things to balance the books. Then gets the ban. Basically, I think the situation, I don't know how football works at a corporate level, the situation tied Tottenham's hands in a way. Combination of how Levy likes to deal, what Paratici does as a football director, and they brought Conte, and I think Conte was happy to do that, but they couldn't offload all these players. And because they couldn't offload all these players they had spare, they couldn't buy new ones. And the situation was like this, and then the football comes in. No winners, no this. Listen. And then Conte has all the personal things, and I think it was all these personal problems that I think it takes a toll on you as well. And then it was, at one point, it was too much for Conte. And Conte says, okay, I just cannot deal with this anymore.
Mariano,
that's my theory.
Absolutely fantastic. But fantastic explanation. Okay. Now, if it's true, all that you said, if it's a reality, why the club doesn't come out? No. Why the club doesn't come out and tell all the supporters, I'm sorry, we are in a problem. We want Conte to stay, and we are not going to qualify probably to the Champions League. And this year we won't win a trophy, and maybe next year neither. And then you need to take it. No, because you don't fill the stadium.
It's interesting to know what he thought when he took that job. 18 months. That's a firefighter.
Steven,
that's not
every single coach that is going to Spurs thinks, I am the man, I'm going to win a trophy. And then, no, you are not. Next.
So
you're not. Next.
But you did.
And then, now I'm going to ask a question to a fan from the manager's point of view. Now, you, as a fan of Spurs,
yep.
Do you accept what Daniel Levy has done with the club in all the infrastructure, everything he was behind, or you will change it for a trophy?
Trophy.
So now we got a problem, because I, as a person, as a professional, I look at Daniel Levy as a whole. And what Daniel Levy has done for the club, for Tottenham Hotspur, is absolutely top class. The training ground is one of the best, if not the best, in England. The stadium is the best in England. I'm telling you, it's the best. It's better than Wembley, better than anyone in England. So you got something that no club in England can have at the moment. Maybe the next one is going to be bigger because that's what they do, not the club, no? And it should be the previous one.
Sure.
But at the moment, the best stadium is Spain. Now, when you do that, you know who suffers? The team. Now, Daniel Levy put that in consideration, 100% sure. Okay, and it was obvious that the team will suffer because you won't have the financials until everything is paid. Now, that needs to be clarified. It needs to be said. So the manager when arrives knows that he's dealing with a situation, whoever you are, that even if you think that you are the one winning a trophy, you are not going to have the tools maybe to win the trophy. You need more than luck. You need everybody fit, everybody 100%. You get everything going for you, and maybe you get closer because the rest, they got money. Chelsea, 600 million. Man City, and all of that. So there is a thing in there that people want Daniel Levy to do one thing, but then they love to go to the stadium. Yeah? And sometimes, as Arsenal, when they left Highbury, how
was the same
long
problem
it
for
took
them.
them. Okay. So if it's clear, why we don't say it? That's what I'm saying. Why we put this kind of, yeah, it is possible. I'm telling you, listen, it's something that like I said, I see it coming because after Mourinho, I was delighted when Mourinho went to Spurs because I thought it was one of the biggest challenges that he was able to have. And when he gets to the final, he gets sacked the week before.
Yeah, that's what I'd like to understand. I think that's what we needed clarity on. Why that was.
Okay.
It's
So
obvious in your own mind. It's obvious. If he wins a trophy, he gets X millions. He's going at the end of the season. It wasn't working. Something was broken, and it was the build up to go. But if he wins a trophy, he gets a 5 million, 10 million pound bonus. That's why he got sacked the week before. But that's not said because that's my feeling. You know, it must be. Why else would you sack your manager the week before when you're in a final? He's doing what he's supposed to do. Go win me a trophy.
What I'm telling you is the only way for me right that sacking is if you win the final. If you win the final, I tell you, good decision. Now, I think you have a better chance to win a final with Mourinho on your bench than against you.
Yeah,
That's
I think he sacrificed the final. I do. I think Levy gave the final away.
Now, the Conte situation, it was a matter of time. From the beginning, okay? Everybody knew, because I said, Conte is not going to be like a people. Right? In January, you need to bring the players, and they came. Bentancur and the winger, I cannot remember, Kulusevski. Okay? And then I said, okay, now in the summer, it's going to be a clear out, and it's going to come.
The clear out.
And then in January, and then, well, you have Conte. Conte wants to win. Bottom line, there is no negotiations.
But the thing is, when
to
you
win,
say
you need players.
Yeah, well, when you say that, he has been given players. So if you look at the players he had, he should be. Yeah. No, I'm not saying we've got big steps to get to the top, but we're up the top end, and he's supplemented that midfield with someone at Brighton. On paper, when he signed for Spurs, Basuma, wow, we need a player. Leeds, we've got Leeds in the midfield. Him and Bentancur swapping around with Højbjerg, Skips coming through, and then Sarr, was supposed to be out on loan again. But the base of the midfield is there, and you think, wow, great. Okay, then Perisic, fantastic. His experience, he'll teach Sessegnon, etc., etc.
Yeah, I think that if I look at the squad today of Spurs, it's a good squad. But if you tell me you're going to win a trophy, I will say to you it's going to be difficult, or very difficult.
We should be in the FA Cup semi-final.
Okay.
Yeah, we should still be in for a trophy. We're nowhere near the league.
Now that's a great point that you made. And I go with the Mariano's comments before about the whole picture. And this happened a lot during the years at Arsenal. When qualifying for the Champions League is more important financially than winning a cup, you got a problem.
Yeah, agree.
And it happens all the time. Because I had this discussion with my assistant manager, Tarico, one day. We discussed that for an hour, driving from London to Brighton one morning, about Arsene Wenger. And if it was good or bad, and we all agreed that it was fantastic for Arsenal. But at that moment, it was like 6 years without winning a trophy, after moving to the Emirates and blah, 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 but qualifying for the Champions League. And I was thinking, he's not winning a trophy. And Tano was saying, yeah, but he's qualified for the Champions League football every year. I said, yeah, but he's not winning a trophy. It's Arsenal that when they win in the league and cups. Yeah, but it's not. And we couldn't agree with Tano. Because I told you this in a previous podcast, winners win.
Yeah, totally agree. And I think that's something that we
Okay.
lack so much at Spurs.
Well, that was the words. That were the words of Conte. Clear. Okay. Now, it would be nice. I always say that. I know it's not possible. I keep asking. Many places. Come out and say it. And then I stay. And I keep it quiet. But
It was a gossip at Spurs that it was a players' coup against Conte.
That's always happened. In Bayern Munich as well. And it's going to be everywhere. But the reality is that last week, it was no problems. And they were playing fantastic. The problem with the Spurs is that, look, I'm gonna compare it. I can compare it only with places where I've been. I was in a Chelsea that we were not consistent enough to win the league, the Premier League. But we were a terrific, absolutely top-class cup team. When it came to kind of cup winning or out, we were outstanding. Okay? So Tottenham right now is not a cup team because you don't reach finals, and it's not consistent enough because one week you think, okay, now yes, this is Conte's team, and next week you want to kill yourself because it's terrible. So you have to have something.
And that
One
why
of the
happened.
other.
Yes, but that why happened, and I want to go back to Chelsea because it's the same question, but with different answers, of course. The coach, as we see in the episode that went out this week from last year, the team has to be built around the coach's ideas and coach's identity in order to get the best of the team in a way. So yes, it's a bit of the top class coaches normally gets the players that fit their style. And we're talking about top level coaches here. We are not talking about the middle age, but Graham Potter probably is one who was in the making up. For that reason, I'm mixing both. And the question for Spurs is this thing that does it has to be the team adapt to the managers, or is also a bit of a blame on Conte that he couldn't make this team with the quality become a bit better or change a bit the style? Because the opportunity to change a bit of the style and the knowledge he has. He cannot say that he doesn't know football to adapt to this situation. It cannot be only give me
plan
money.
Bs?
It's not a plan B. It's more about a trained B. But yes, it's a plan B for
I think without going to names, specific names, I think the team as a squad, they got very good players. Now there is a difference between very good players
and a team.
No, and winners.
Okay,
there's a difference.
It's a difference.
There is certain teams that you look at them, and the teams they're winning every year, everywhere. You can call the Man City, you can call the Real Madrid, you can call the Barcelona, the Bayern Munich. They are very good players, but they are winners because they are used to win, and they go one place to another and they win.
The last Real Madrid who won the Champions League.
But listen, I'm gonna put your name, simple name. Sometimes it happens with certain players. Rudiger. Rudiger is at Chelsea and he's winning, and they go to Madrid and he's winning. He won the International Cup. Like, there are players that wherever they go, they're gonna win. Okay, you will say, oh, they're going to top teams. Okay, so Arsenal now is gonna win, probably, even if Steven is gonna hate it. But the idea is how you can become a winner. You must try to win something.
But does
Whatever
that come
it is.
from
Yes,
from you
and
as a
that-
player, or does that come from a philosophy of a club, or is it
The club.
it
I think it's coming from
comes
the
from
club. They understand it with the manager, and they know that you know we must win a cup. You know what you said? You should be in the semi-final. But why Spurs is no? Because there is always something happening.
Well,
Because
sadly, Arteta won the cup, didn't he? Straight away.
yes, we straight away, and then when he was in a bad situation, probably the cup kept him in his position, and then here we
but
are.
then at the same time, we have two winners. One could say that reached the final and didn't let them play it, so it could be a winner, which was Mourinho. But then Conte is also a winner. So why? Okay, you need players, but also managers. And what I infer for what you're saying is that the club, the culture of the club, mostly in responsibility of Levy, didn't allow to the manager to become a winner. So
No, not didn't allow. No, not didn't allow. No. You need to do it under certain circumstances. I think Daniel Levy would love to win a trophy. I remember when we won in 2008, and I was there. He was delighted. It was, it was the first one to recognize it was something unique for Spurs because they needed it, because it was 10 years before the other one. I think 99. No, I don't know. Steven, correct me with the
99.
date.
George Graham.
Okay, so what I mean with that is that you know that you need, because the fans, they know what they need. Now, the problem is that there is a stadium, there is a training ground, there is an amount of money, there is Champions League football give you certain standards and certain amount of money that maybe a local, cup doesn't give you. So you need to compensate those things, and the manager needs to be part. Wait. The manager needs to be part. Now, to be part, for example, in these 2 years, you need to convince Conte not to be a winner. So what I say in the beginning, you're trying to change the personality of someone who we know that is not going to accept it.
But
Now,
do you think that's the same with Potter, having the opposite way?
Potter is the opposite. Potter is Chelsea, you are not allowed to be 11. It doesn't matter how you play football. You are not. Now, we were waiting because of the new owner.
But football-wise, okay, it was 7 months, it's not even time. But in the last transfer window, he got like 25 players, and having another 25 players. From a manager point of view, how can you deal with that situation?
Yeah, I was going to ask that question.
Because you have to keep happy everyone.
How would you deal with a situation where you're just given, they're great players on paper, but I mean, how do you deal with...
too.
The players that came to Chelsea in January, they are young, future, not today. Okay, it's different. When Conte went to Italy to get Bentancur and Kulusevich, they were for today. Tomorrow you put in the team and they play well because they are players that they play in a highest level in Italy. These players, they were young players playing in France. That and maybe then they come into England.
They spend a lot of money on paper.
Yeah,
I mean, 120 million.
Now, I think these two from Juventus, 100% Conte's players. 5 or 6 of Graham Potter, I got my doubts. I cannot confirm it, but I think probably in the future, maybe Graham one day will talk about this situation and he will tell us, yes, if he had any participation. Well, that's the problem, but it doesn't look like they were players that he was looking for at that moment in time. I mean, nowadays, if you see where the Chelsea is struggling, they finished playing with 2 fullbacks as a central defender. So probably it was a central defender, probably was a number 9 that there is no one. So there is certain things. Now, the situation, Mariano and Steven, is when it's not aligned, this is very important what I'm going to say. When it's not aligned coming from the top, clear, down, and public, the manager is the one responsible. When it's coming, like it's coming now in Arsenal, Yeah, like it doesn't matter that he's not winning the coach. It stays because this is the future, and it stays, and this is the future. And everybody have said, yeah, but Arteta stays because this is the future. And then 3 years later, great chance to win the Premier League. For me, they're gonna win it. Okay, and I said this in November, and I'm not saying it now. And that is a line from the top to the bottom of the team. When in the clubs that we've been talking about, okay, Leicester, I don't know too much about it. I don't think it's that clear. I don't. Okay, that's my opinion.
Yes, and now brings me to the press conference that Klopp did today about saying that he probably stayed because of the success he had, but judging by the results of this season, he says, if this were my first season here, probably my situation would be another one.
It was It was out 100%. And I tell you what, next year, October, it cannot be in this situation, Liverpool, because even the past got a time limit.
Yeah.
So he knows, but it's nice that he said it because it's honesty and it's clear. He knows that it's not good enough, and he knows it should be better. Now, also I said to you, and this is typical, there is teams that they get together, many players at the same time at the highest level, and they're in top form all together. And it lasts 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then it goes down. And if you don't regenerate proper, it's not the same. It's very difficult to maintain the level that you've been playing because the top Liverpool of Klopp, it was outstanding. It was very difficult to play against. The intensity, the direction, the way they were attacking, the quantity of chances, you cannot compare it with this Liverpool. And the coach is the same one. Probably same training, same meeting, same convincement, same. But like I said to you many times, you know who plays? Players.
But that puts Guardiola or Ferguson in a different level because they change teams constantly.
Guardiola, look, I'm an admirer of Guardiola. Okay, I'm an admirer. But Guardiola managed Barcelona, Bayern Munich, and Man City.
Yeah, but then what he's doing at Man City is changing.
Where? Let's put him in bottom 10.
Chelsea.
Bottom 10. Imagine. It's a different matter because his qualities, his understanding of the game, the way he plays the game is for certain players. Top players who understand the game at the maximum level.
Same as Klopp.
Situation.
Same as Klopp.
Well, yeah, but Klopp done something with Borussia Dortmund, which is a top team in Germany. But then he built this team of Liverpool because it was in a period that Liverpool was up and down. Liverpool was winning the Champions League and Cup, but he couldn't win the Premier League. He couldn't win the Premier League, and slowly he got there in an incredible manner to win the Premier League, and that catapulted Klopp to the top level. But like I said to you, it's a matter of understanding where you are and the place you go. And in one way, it's clear. At Chelsea, you must win. In Tottenham, you must play good football and get in the Champions League. That's what I get from outside. It's a different approach. It's a different objective. I will change it. Okay? If you give me the chance to go to Tottenham and be the next coach of Tottenham, I will win a trophy. Now, maybe I get sacked because I didn't qualify for the Champions League. You understand what I'm saying? Even if you don't believe me, Steve.
But
but I mean, that happened, didn't it?
It can happen because the aim of the club from outside, I don't know, from inside, obviously, I didn't talk to Daniel Levy, to anyone, is like you must qualify for the Champions League so we can keep paying, the stadium and things. Okay? Now, I will go for the Cups. If I need to rest a player, I'll rest him on Saturday. But on Wednesday in the Cup, he plays. I've got no doubt about it. Because I know how much it means to Spurs fans to win a trophy. I was there. Okay? And I know. I was there losing a final as a player, and I was there winning a final as an assistant coach. And I know what it meant to the Spurs fan. So me as a coach, if I was a manager of Tottenham, I would play for the Caps 100%. 100%.
I think that's getting to the point. I think it's something I'd like to talk about on another time. Is how we all view football differently. In terms of the bigger picture, Mariano can come as the bigger picture. You as the coach player, me as the fan who's just desperate for a cup. And why we're involved in football, I go to football, why I had season tickets, why I was a shareholder, why I used to drag myself up Tottenham High Road every other week. There's a reason it's for that. And I think it's the disconnect between fans and clubs is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And this is why we're heading towards a Super League.
The message.
But it's the same for most clubs.
Look, yeah. I'm going to tell you a little anecdote because how I understand the fans. One day I'm in the underground in London and somebody recognized me and he said, God, I'm not trying to say too many people, He said, no, I'm a Sunderland fan. You gave me the best day of my life, the best moment of my life. And I'm thinking, when we got safe, the miracle. He said, no, Wembley. I said, we lost at Wembley. We lost against Man City, 3-1. He said, yes, but halftime, when we were winning 1-0, it was the best moment of my life. I was at Wembley and we were winning a final at halftime. And then I went, wow. I don't remember halftime. I remember at the end, I was devastated because we lost, okay? And that's how much it means Wembley and a trophy. So how on earth you cannot play as a club with plenty of potential every year? Even if they tell me, no, Tottenham is playing to win a Champions League football. It happened to Arsenal. Come on, we know it. It happened to Arsenal 6 years, I think it was.
We have a game when we were kids where some people call it Wembley. It's a game where you play against each other. Do you have the same thing in Uruguay and Argentina, where you would be your team? There's one goalkeeper and then everyone against everyone else. And if you score, you go to the next round. If you're the last one, you don't score, you're out. And then it goes down, down, down until there's 2 left in the final. And the whole point of this game is to get to Wembley. It's not to get to 4th, it's to get to Wembley and to win. And that's what it is, I think. And that's the difference between clubs now in terms of ownership. It's about money. It's about prestige. It's not about what football is, and that's the glory.
Thank you for tuning in to our episode, Managers and the Sack at the 12th Man Academy.
If you enjoyed this podcast, please subscribe to the series, leave a winning review or a 5-star rating on the platform you're listening on. And do not forget to check our website at www.12asintheword-man-academy.com and let us know what would you like to know. If you would like to sponsor this podcast, please email us to sponsors@the12manacademy.com. See you next time at the 12th Man Academy.